What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys my full predictions for SummerSlam 2026. The card looks pretty decent. We do have two nights. In my opinion, I'm 10 times more excited for Saturday than Sunday. Sunday only has two matches that I'm really looking forward to. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be, good matches on Sunday, but there's only two matches that I'm really looking forward to. I think Saturday has all the potential to probably be the best pay-per-view of the year. But let's start off with my predictions. I'll start off with Saturday, of course, and the figures and the matches that I don't have the figures for. So we have the six-woman tag match between the Bellas and Paige taking on Fatal Influence. I'm going to say that the Bellas and Paige win. I don't think this match is going to kick off the night, but it'll probably be one of the first matches. I don't think this is going to be, the match before the main event or anything. I think this is probably going to be one of the first three matches. I think either Oba and Brock or the six-man tag with the Bloodline and, LA Solo and Royce Keys. One of those two matches are going to kick off. And then I think that the six-woman tag will probably be the second match. But I'm going to go with the Bellas and Paige to win. And then later on, either Paige will turn heel on the Bellas or, the Bellas will turn on Paige. But for SummerSlam, I'm saying that the Bellas and Paige defeat Fatal Influence. Then we have Liv Morgan versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. I think Liv Morgan's going to retain just because this is her first defense with the championship. I don't think it makes a lot of sense, for her to lose her first defense. But I do think that Roxanne Perez is going to turn on Liv, whether that be during the match or after the match. I'm going to say it's going to be after the match and Liv retains. I wouldn't be surprised if Io wins, with help from Danhausen or something. But I personally don't care about Danhausen and his involvement in this storyline. Maybe Io wins clean, but I just think that's too boring and straightforward. So I think Roxanne has to turn heel, whether, she helps Io win or it's after the match. I'm going to say that Roxanne turns on Liv after the match and Liv retains. And then we have Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi in Hell in a Cell. I think Oba has to win this just because he literally sacrificed his world title opportunity for this matchup. So I think it'd look really stupid on his behalf if he does lose. So I think Oba has to win this match. I wouldn't be mad if Brock wins. I'm a big fan of Brock. I do like Brock more than Oba. But I think Oba has to win. And I hope Brock Lesnar doesn't retire here. I'm going to say he doesn't. And, maybe he'll retire at the end of the year or WrestleMania. And then the last match, before we get into the matches that I do have some of the figures for, it's going to be Gunther versus Nick Aldis. I believe that Gunther is going to win. I would love Nick Aldis to win, but I think it has to be Gunther in this one. Gunther has been looking really weak in this storyline with Cody and Sammy. So I think him beating Aldis clean here is great for him. I would like a Drew McIntyre return, but I personally don't see it. I think we're just going to get Gunther defeating Nick Aldis clean here. I just hope for a really great showing for Aldis and hopefully a good match. Now let's get into the matches that I have some of the figures for. But the next match I want to discuss is going to be the six-man tag team match with the team of the Bloodline, Jimmy and Jay, and Jacob Fatu, taking on LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys. This is one of the matches that I am really looking forward to. I think this has had a great build. I really do enjoy all six superstars in this match, so I'm really glad they're all on the card. Especially Jacob Fatu and Royce Keys. I thought they would have a single match, and then maybe it'd be the Usos versus LA and Solo, but I'm glad they got them all in a six-man tag here, and I think it's going to be a really fun match. I'm looking forward to the match more than, who's going to win, but I think it is going to be the Bloodline with help from a debuting Zilla Fatu. Zilla Fatu has been, rumored to debut in WWE for a while now, so I do think he will debut at SummerSlam and help the Bloodline win, opposed to him debuting in Roman versus Seth, just because I feel like Roman and Seth needs to be a clean one-on-one match without any interference. Maybe he still interferes in that match, but I'm going to go with Zilla Fatu debuting to help the Bloodline win this matchup. Of course, the main event, Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk for the Undisputed Universal Championship. This might be my most anticipated match on the whole card. Not that I think it's going to be the best match, but I just think with the story, I think this is probably the match that I'm anticipating the most. There's so many things that could go down here. Cody Rhodes could turn heel. Punk could turn heel. We could have a new champion. So many different people could return in this match. But I think for my final prediction, I do think CM Punk is going to retain. I don't know how. Maybe he turns heel, or maybe it's with help from either Drew, Randy, or Kevin Owens. They could all get involved. I think Drew is probably past the Undisputed Universal title scene at the moment, especially if it's the same faces that were in it when Drew was still around. and I don't see him returning at SummerSlam, unfortunately. And he wouldn't help CM Punk, honestly, to win. I think if anything, he'd probably help Cody. Maybe even Drew McIntyre returns as a babyface. I think that'd be pretty cool. But when Drew returns, I do think he'll return as a heel, and he'll probably go after Nick Aldis if Nick Aldis is still wrestling or not. Either way, I do think Drew will still go after Nick Aldis, and that'll probably be Aldis' second match. That could probably be even closer to WrestleMania time. But for this match, I'm going to say that CM Punk wins with help from Randy Orton. I did read a report that said Randy and Kevin Owens are very close to returning. I'm super excited for Kevin Owens. If Kevin Owens returns at SummerSlam, that'll make the show. I'll be so excited and super satisfied with the show. Doesn't matter what else happens. As long as Kevin Owens returns, I'll be excited. I don't know if he will return. I'm hoping he does. Maybe he can challenge CM Punk. I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't think we've seen that feud yet, and that's honestly a dream match for me. And then it makes sense, Randy going after Cody and then Kevin going after Punk. I think that'd be really cool. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna predict. I'm gonna predict Randy Orton costing Cody Rhodes the match, and then Kevin Owens returns after to set up him versus CM Punk. Now we get to talk about night 2 of SummerSlam. So there are 3 matches that I do not have the figures for. First, we have Dominic versus Danhausen. Human Money's on a pole match. I can honestly care less. Danhausen has honestly been pretty cringe as of late. So I hope Dominic wins, but he's probably not. Danhausen's probably going to win, and probably with help from the Mini-Housens and Joe Hendry. Honestly, I don't care. I wish Dominic was in a better position right now. I thought it would have been cool if he won King of the Ring. I get that's, probably a big spot for him at the moment. But I don't know. I would have liked to see Dominic Mysterio in a better position right now than this Danhausen match. But unfortunately, Danhausen is going to win, which definitely sucks for Dominic. Next up, we have the ladder match for the Interim Women's Championship. So we have Jade Cargill, Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, Lash Legend or Julia, and I can't remember who the last participant is. I know there's 6 participants, or maybe it's 5. I don't know. If there's another participant, I can't remember them. But I'm hoping Chelsea Green wins here, but that's probably not gonna happen. I'm gonna say Charlotte Flair wins, which will be pretty cool. When Alexa Bliss comes back, maybe they could feud. But I think they definitely want to set up Charlotte versus Rhea, so I'm gonna say Charlotte Flair will become the interim women's champion. And then the last match that we have that I don't have any of the figures for is going to be Baron Corbin taking on Trick Williams for the United States Championship. I don't know. I feel like this is probably the hardest match to predict on the card just because I can see Baron Corbin winning. I feel like it's kind of random that it's just a one-on-one match. I was hoping it'd be a fatal four-way between Ricky, Mello, Corbin, and Trick. I am recording this before SmackDown, so maybe something does happen on SmackDown that can set up a triple threat with Mello or a fatal four-way with Mello and Ricky Saints. That's honestly what I would have booked, a fatal four-way, because that's way more intriguing to me. And then Mello could get the United States Championship back. But obviously, I think it's kind of too late for that. But it would be pretty cool if, something happens on SmackDown that would lead to that. If that does happen, I would say Carmelo Hayes wins, but I think they're just going to leave it a one-on-one. It's really tough, though, because, like I said, Baron Corbin could win this because it's a one-on-one match, and then maybe they could be Trick getting into the Money in the Bank ladder match and potentially winning that. But I think Trick Williams is just going to win clean. Like I said, it would be cool if Corbin won and then Trick gets in the Money in the Bank ladder match and maybe wins a world title. But for SummerSlam, I'm just going to say that Trick Williams beats Baron Corbin clean. Now let's get into the matches that I have the figures for. Next up, we're going to be talking about Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor in a #1 contenders match for the Undisputed Universal Championship. I'm honestly kind of excited for this match because I do think it's going to be a good in-ring match. But if they're doing a #1 contenders match, I don't know, maybe it could have been a gauntlet match or something. I feel like it's kind of weird that it's just Finn versus Sammy one-on-one. But I'm still looking forward to it. I know they're both amazing talent, and it is going to be a good match. I'm hoping for a Finn Balor win here. We've seen Sammy with a title recently. I know it wasn't a long reign, but I feel like they could have just gave Sammy a rematch on SmackDown or something. I don't know why he had to be in this match to kind of earn a rematch. But I am still hoping Finn Balor wins just because I want a Finn Balor world title reign so bad. And I feel like Finn Balor on pay-per-view, he's been on a winning streak against Tama Tonga, Talatanga, and of course the Fatal 4-Way. So I think they should keep that winning streak going. I'm a massive fan of Finn Balor. He's definitely one of my favorites right now. Probably my favorite on SmackDown, to be honest. So I am hoping he is going to win this match and then challenge CM Punk. Hopefully beat CM Punk. I think it'd be pretty cool if he does beat CM Punk for the world title, and then maybe Kevin Owens beats Punk before Punk can get a rematch, and then they could do Finn versus Kevin for the world title. That's probably my dream, but I don't think that's going to be too likely. But I am still hoping that Finn Balor wins here, so I am going to predict that Finn Balor wins here. Next up, I want to talk about the Intercontinental Championship match, but in 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Next up, I want to talk about the match between Chad Gable and Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. I think this is going to be match of the weekend, honestly. Definitely one of the matches I am most looking forward to. Yeah, I just hope this is a really good, long match. There should be no interferences here. I don't see who can interfere here. But it has to be Chad Gable. Chad Gable has already made it this far. He has to just win the Intercontinental Championship at this point. He hasn't won the championship yet. And maybe Penta can move on into the tag team division with Rey Fenix. Or maybe he stays in the Intercontinental Championship division. But either way, Chad Gable has to win this match and finally capture the Intercontinental Championship. So that's what I do think is going to happen. I just hope for a really good, long match out of these two because I know they can definitely put on a good classic match. But this is going to be match of the weekend. Definitely contender for match of the year. Either way, though, Chad Gable is going over. And our main event in 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And our main event of SummerSlam Sunday is going to be Roman Reigns defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Seth Rollins. And probably like an end of an era match. Super excited for this one. I'm glad WWE went in this direction. This is what I was hoping for the main event of SummerSlam. I didn't want to see Oba versus Roman. I wanted to see this match, and I'm super excited for it. I mentioned earlier Zillafat 2 potentially debuting. I really hope he doesn't get involved in this match. I also hope Solo doesn't get involved. I really do enjoy Solo's work as a babyface. He's become one of my favorites because he's super hilarious. So I hope he stays a babyface and doesn't get involved in this match. If he does get involved in this match, I hope it is to kind of screw Roman over. But either way, I do think Roman is going to win. Roman has to win this. Roman has never beat Seth Rollins one-on-one. I don't think. I think people are bringing up a Raw in 2017, but I believe that was in a gauntlet match. I could be wrong, but still, obviously, if I don't remember it, don't think it was really important. So I do think Roman Reigns is going to win here. Finally get an important win over Seth Rollins and retain his World Heavyweight Championship. He's already announced a bunch of more dates after SummerSlam that he's going to be showing up. He's even going to be on the Money in the Bank card. So Roman is definitely going to retain here. I'm just hoping for a really good, clean match with no interferences. No Zilla, Fatu, no Bloodline, LA, Royce Keys, Solo. None of them need to get involved. This just needs to be a really good one-on-one match. Hopefully, not the last time between these two, because I always enjoy when they're in a feud and their matches. But unfortunately, I do think it is going to be the last time. So Roman has to go over and retain his World Heavyweight Championship. But those are just my predictions for SummerSlam. Let me know your predictions down in the comments below. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. My goal is to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. So I would really appreciate it if you guys did like and subscribe. That's going to do it for me. I'll see you guys in the next video.
I'm bliss, highly favored. I'm bliss, highly favored.